Who's taking 2 over Trevor Lawrence now? Let's go.
That was the best you had, really? That was it? That's what you had?
Messed up. I forgot his name. I just forgot Trevor Lawrence's
name. You
That's
couldn't even get it out. That's I'm not impressed.
Dang it, dude! I was so excited like all day because I had that planned.
Oh my god, like, that was your surprise.
That I was like, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be funny because you're not gonna have a reaction because I'm gonna cut right to the video, and
oh well, they saw my reaction, but the surprise. I thought the surprise was gonna be my failure T-shirt. Where is my failure T-shirt?
Oh yeah, no, that's coming. I actually literally thought about that today and was trying to work on it a little bit.
Really?
Because there's some. Yeah, because I'm trying to convince some of the higher ups to go certain directions and stuff with the YouTube channel and stuff. So,
well, hopefully all of those directions include me. I wouldn't want to be left out of any of that.
No, for sure not. And we need a failure T-shirt. We got some other stuff, that I have.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. So,
excellent. So. Welcome back, everybody. Ask DLF Tuesday nights. Tyler here as usual. Myself, Addison, filling in for Cal once again, and we'll continue to until Cal returns and feels great and is ready to do this show again. But yeah, I think it's pretty status quo, and I think we can just go right into the questions if you don't have anything for.
Let's do it.
Let's freaking do it. G Money in here. Hey guys, great show. Is this close? Lamar for Trey Lance and a 23-second.
No, it's not that close. I'll take Lamar.
This is a fantastic sell high on Trey Lance. That's what
it's funny. Now is the time to sell high on Trey Lance. It's interesting. You wouldn't think that, right? I mean, there's all this discussion about how Jimmy G, they have plans to keep him. They don't have any plans to keep him on the roster. Of course they're going to say that. They're not that dumb. Of course, they're going to say that they're going to have Jimmy G on the roster because then that gives them leverage, right? I mean, it's very simple. Well, Jimmy G is not going to be on the roster. But even so, I'd still take Lamar.
Yep, 100%. Absolutely. BJ, someone traded Zach Wilson for Lazard in a 1 quarterback. Fair.
I guess. I'd rather have Wilson. I don't want Lazard. Lazard is useless.
Yeah, because they're bringing in somebody. Is it 2 somebodies though? That's the kind of question.
But you want more failure? I mean, we have years of Lazard failure. That doesn't sound good. I mean, 4 years of nothing. I don't want nothing. That won't work. So I can't have that. So I'll take Zach Wilson, who has less failure.
Yeah. I guess that's the way to go. Although I don't really know what to do with Zach Wilson in a 1 quarterback league either. So
nothing. You just hang on to him and hope for the best. Hope that they draft Drake London.
Oh no, I got a whole plan for Drake London. He's going to the Packers with Allen Lazard. He's going.
Yeah, no. He's not going to be there. He's not going to be there. Not going to be there. He will guaranteed. He will not be there. So that you can take that plan and shoot it to another planet. It's not
right to the moon with Drake London. Steven, Taco Tuesday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Also, Waffle Wednesday. I know we had another one down here, absolutely. John. Waffle Wednesday for everybody down on the other side of the world. Steven said, real quick, rank tacos, burgers, wings, cinnamon rolls. What is it? An interesting combination.
There's a bunch of crap that I don't put into my body.
Oh, come on. You don't eat any of this stuff?
No, you haven't been here. You haven't been here for all the times we talk about food, and I just say next question.
Steven, I'll give you what you want. Burgers. Oh, the cinnamon roll throws it off because it's not like a dinner like with everything else.
To be fair,
Bur-
even when I did eat these foods, burgers is the only one of these that I really ever ate regularly.
Yeah, burgers are
I never
fantastic.
really liked wings. Like ever. Cinnamon roll, even when I ate unhealthy food, I would have cake or cookies or ice cream. I'd never have cinnamon roll. Tacos. I guess I would eat tacos, but I definitely preferred burgers. I didn't have tacos that often.
Burgers, tacos, cinnamon rolls, wings.
And I'd probably have the same order, actually.
Probably be how it
I
goes.
never ate wings, literally ever.
They're good when they have to be the right ones. You know, you have to get them from the right places. That's for sure. And cinnamon rolls, I feel like it's been a
I'm
hot
from New
minute since I
York.
had
A cinnamon roll would be an odd thing for me to eat.
I still like the question.
We don't have a lot of malls in New York.
Steven asked again, actual football question here. Panicking if you have Etienne and Dobbins as your main running backs, entering year 2 of a 3-year window.
I mean, I'm not panicking. I don't like that. It looks like J.K. Dobbins is going to open camp on the pup. I could have done without that. That's bad.
That's really
he should be ready. That doesn't sound so good. So yeah, I mean, it could be worse, right? I tend to have a lot of teams that don't go heavy at running back, so this wouldn't be unusual for me.
I think the positive here is you have 2 pretty valuable backs. They're not like top 10, but they're still valuable. So that if you felt like you had to trade off of them, I feel like you could still do that pretty easily.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm not panicking. I've seen worse. I've seen worse teams win, so I'm not panicking yet.
Yeah, for sure. Just get some guys behind it. They don't even have to be anything fantastic. Just get guys behind it, and you'll be good. I'm not panicking. Yeah. Ryan, hey guys, not sure if I'll be able to be back for the live show, but a 12-team super flex, he's being offered Godwin, Gabe Davis, and the 111 for Diggs in the 108. He thinks it's close, but he would like a little bit more.
I'll take the Godwin side. I mean, it is close, but it's not that close. I'd rather have Godwin over Diggs for the age. And then Davis in the 111 versus the 108. I'd probably rather have Davis in the 111. That seems a little rich just to move up a couple of spots. So, yeah, the Godwin side is close, but not that close.
Yeah, no, I do agree for sure. I would also take Godwin over. Godwin and Diggs are just like right there, basically, to where the point where Gabe Davis in the 111 for the 108 is kind of the changer for me, just a little bit, just to take the shot on what Gabe Davis is, or just flip him before the NFL draft.
I would do that one. That second idea. That one. That's the one I would do.
So do that one. Yep. Take the Godwin side there. Alexander, would you guys use your 2023 first to get Stephon Diggs if you're a contender?
No. In Superflex, no, I'm not going to risk it. No. Not good enough. Not good enough. I want better than that.
Yeah, which sounds weird for a guy who just came off a top 10 wide receiver performance, but the age.
Yeah, but you have a guy who came up with top 10 wide receiver performance who's 28, who had one outlier year where he was amazing, a fantasy breaker, 2020. The rest of his career, not really. Not a fantasy breaker, just a good receiver, a low end 1 to high end 2 the rest of his career. And it's only going to get worse in terms of the target competition. It's not going to be better. We're getting farther away from 2020, not closer to it. So, yeah, Diggs is not someone I'm investing a 2023 first in a Superflex. In a 1 QB, I'll do it because I don't have to risk giving up a starting quarterback. But in a Superflex, and I tend to assume Superflex. At this point, if I don't know, I'll assume it's Superflex over 1 QB. But telling me the format will help get a better answer to your question every time, just so you know.
Sure. So there you go. In a Superflex first, in a 1 QB, Diggs.
Yeah, pretty comfortable with that.
Cool. Jake asked, in a full PPR 8-team Superflex Dynasty, trading Mike Evans for Elijah Moore and a 23. What? And?
That's a robbery.
What?
Moore is worth more than Evans. So, yeah, this is a robbery. So let's give you. We need like an applause soundtrack. We have one of those. We need like a soundboard on this show. But yes, obviously the Moore side is what I would do.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Holy crap! You're taking Moore over Evans, right?
Oh, easily, yeah. Easily.
Okay.
Even if they draft a wide receiver in the draft in the first round, I would take Moore over Evans.
Or trade for DK Metcalf.
That's not going to happen, but I do think that there's a good chance that DK Metcalf will be on the Chiefs very soon.
Interesting. I do think he's on the move. I don't buy.
We can put Juju where he belongs. Pete Carroll said that DK Metcalf is in their plans, which means he's definitely gone.
He's gone. He's out of there. Patrick, the 102 in Freiermuth or the 1.04 and Pittman in a 0.75 tight end premium?
Okay, so I'd obviously rather have the 102 over the 104. Probably rather have Pittman over Freiermuth, even in this format, but I'll go with the 102. I'll go with the 102 because I'll either get Hall or the best quarterback in the class would be Malik Willis. And I'm going to rather have that. I think that the tier gap in Superflex is probably going to be at the 102. So I'll take that side.
Yeah, I'm weighing out the Breece Hall, Malik Willis versus Burks or Walker. And if that weighs in more than Pittman and Freiermuth. Because like the 0.75 PPR I don't think that's really Freiermuth's not a tight end where that really benefits him. Like
you don't know that
super much.
You don't know that.
That's true.
We don't know enough about him to know that. So he could totally increase the volume. Juju is gone. And not that he played much last year, but it was year one. We don't know what kind of volume he's going to have in year two. So we don't know that. So I think it could be a big difference. I mean, Freiermuth is one of those players. I think he has a ceiling to be a difference-making tight end in fantasy football. He certainly was pretty good as a rookie, right? I mean, if Kyle Pitts wasn't there, we probably would be talking about it more, wouldn't we?
Right.
But we're not, because there was another tight end in his class who was way better. So, I don't think Freiermuth and Pittman are that different. I think the 102 versus the 104 is a much bigger difference. So I would definitely go with the 102 side. Now that I talk it through more, it's less close.
That was kind of my devil's advocate question was, do you have Pittman any better with Matt Ryan with the Julio, Calvin Ridley kind of background?
Yes, but it's not enough to change my mind.
Okay. I'm with it. I feel like this is close, so I'm with it. If you just take the 102 over the 104, you're in.
I just think the 104 is going to be a drop. I don't think I can't see anyone other than Walker being someone high end in a super flex draft.
Drake London when he's drafted to the Packers or the Chiefs.
No, he still won't be there. Not on the level of Hall or Willis with his rushing upside. Still won't be that high.
Hurts and a third for Jalen Waddle in a 10-team Superflex.
Okay, so can people do me a favor and stop playing 10-team Superflex? It's weird. I don't enjoy 10-team Superflex. I don't like that format. I'm not saying, play in the leagues you enjoy, but I really think that, 12-team Superflex is ideal. I'd rather play 14-team Superflex than 10-team Superflex. But either way, 10-team Superflex reduces the value of quarterbacks significantly because the pressure's not there. Everybody can have 3. Nobody has trouble getting 2. So, in even a regular Superflex, Waddle and Hurts are worth about the same. Maybe Hurts is even worth more. But just going to 10-team Superflex, I just not as interested in the quarterback, outside of the high-end guys. So I'll just take Waddle, even with the third.
I think I lean Hurts. I'm really struggling with the post-Tyreek Hill trade evaluation of Jalen Waddle.
I think he'll be fine. I'm not really concerned.
I think he'll be fine. Like people were like, "Oh, did you fade T. Higgins because Jamar Chase went there?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, a little bit, but also Tua's not Joe Burrow. Can Tua support 2 top 24 wide receivers?"
Don't worry about it. Their 2023 starter is not currently on their team, so don't worry about it. They're going to be replacing Tua with someone more effective in the near future. I thought you liked Tua.
I do, but I'm not. I don't know how he.
So let me ask you then: if Tua fails now, what is the excuse going to be?
There is no excuse.
There's no excuse, right?
No.
We see that there's no excuse.
No.
Then he just sucks, right? If he can't do it with Tyreek Hill and Waddle, and Gesicki is a solid receiving tight end, he can't do it. And then they're going to have a good wide receiver 3 either way. If they keep Parker, they have one of the most loaded offenses in the league. So if he can't do it with this team, he can't do it.
Yeah. But I think the fear that I would have if I was a Dolphins fan would be if Tua doesn't take this next step, that they're still good enough to where they're played out of like a top quarterback pick next year.
I'm not worried
You know what
about
I
that.
mean?
You see that you can get a quarterback any year. Crazy things have happened. For all you know, Tom Brady is starting for them next year. You don't know that. I mean, anything could happen.
Yeah. I
What
guess
we
I need to.
do know, what we do know is that people like Miami. People want to go play in Miami. It's not like Washington. I can tell you no one is ever going to want to go play in Washington. No one likes them. But Miami, people are going to want to go there. So they're not going to have trouble trading for a quarterback if they need to.
That makes sense. I think I need to recalibrate my ability to guess what situations are in a year from now.
Oh,
Because
just
the
don't bother. I just assume that the situation is fluid.
yeah,
Because guessing doesn't do anyone any good.
no, the NFL is crazy now. That's the only thing
Yes,
we know.
I think we've all learned that lesson this offseason is, not to be too sure of what NFL teams are going to do because we really don't know.
Mm-hmm. Brendan asks, what are you willing to trade for the 1.01? Are you willing to package the 103 and the 106 for the 1.01?
No.
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 In a 1 QB, I'd think about it because then I'm not getting Walker either. And I'm getting 2 crappy wide receivers. Not crappy, but not up to the standard that I would like for a wide receiver one. I'm probably getting 2 players I don't want versus Brees Hall. In a 1 QB, I think about it. Superflex, I probably think about it too.
I think they're just too close. Like if it was 103 and 111, then I would do it. But if it's the 103 and 106.
In a Superflex, I like the 103 and 106 side better because then I know at 103 I'm going to get something I still like. In a 1 QB, if you just tell me I can have Brees Hall over this, I'd probably take it. So I could see it.
I think I'd rather just have the 2 darts.
I think you think that. And I think when the rookies come into the league and you look at where they are in a startup, you look at where rookie 3 and rookie 6 actually are versus where Brees Hall actually is in a startup in a 1 QB, I think you'd change your mind.
That's absolutely true.
Because that's how a trade works, right? It doesn't. The rookie draft is a fantasy, irrelevant, artificial market. Once the rookie draft is over, the real market, what matters is the ranking top to bottom, like it would be in a startup draft. So once the artificial market is over, you go back to what the market was before the market after, which is all the players. And then that's the value that actually matters. And I guarantee you that in a 1 QB, you're probably going to look at it after the draft. And, you're going to look at it. Would you rather have, Treylon Burks or Drake London, 2 of those guys, or Brees Hall? You're going to rather have Brees Hall. First round startup pick, probably, versus 3rd and 4th rounders. I mean, you'd rather have the 1 first.
Just look at it that way. That absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, when I put it that way. When I put it that way, all of a sudden it sounds a lot more appealing to take the 101.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Jacob, 3 firsts in the 106, 107, 111 for the 1.02 and the 2.03 in Superflex. He also has the 101, and he wants to trade up to pair Willis with Brees.
I'd rather pay less.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay less, but I would pay it. I'd always rather pay less, right? You always want to pay less. You don't want to pay more, but I'll pay it if it's this or no deal. I'll pay it.
I think this is where this is so similar to the last question, but because it's the 3 firsts, I know you're dropping 111 to 203. So it's a 4-pick drop.
Yeah, and you're also not giving up the 103 this time, but it is only for the 102.
And he already has the 1.01, so he's already got Brees. He just wants Malik. And
this is the kind of trade where if it works out, you'll like it.
Oh, yeah.
But if it doesn't, and Malik doesn't get the draft capital and 102 is suddenly not in a tier by itself, then you won't like it. So this is a risk. I might be willing to take it if I were desperate for a quarterback.
There is that as well. How desperate?
I'm willing. It's a risk I'm willing to take. I'm willing to bet on Malik Willis getting the draft capital. I would bet in favor of that, but it is a risk. We can't.
If you need a quarterback, though, I'd rather just use those 3 firsts for a more solidified player than Malik taking the shot on what Malik Willis actually is. You know what I'm saying? Like you need that quarterback.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Maybe this isn't the best use of the draft capital.
Mm-hmm.
So you do that.
Do that. Yeah. I think I'd rather keep the 3 firsts and do it those differently. Blake, Waffle Wednesday in trade negotiations right now in a 1-quarterback, 14-team PPR league. Does he give Barkley, Jerry Jeudy, and Justin Fields with Kyler as his 1-quarterback for Cup, Cousins, the 110 and the 201?
Okay.
He says he's a contender as well.
I'll take the Cup side easily. I want players I can actually use, players that are startable. We have a bunch of nothing on the other side. We have unstartable running back, wide receiver who's never done anything, and quarterback who sucked. So that doesn't sound so good. So I'll take the side of players that actually are, with Cup or actually relevant. So I'll go with that side.
Yeah, I totally agree. I would take Cousins and Fields are a wash in a 1-quarterback league at best. I would rather have Cousins, but
I'd rather have Fields, but barely.
it's in there.
Yeah.
But I would trade Barkley and Jerry Jeudy for Cooper Cup by himself. So you're getting a free 110 in the 208.
Kind of how I feel. Yeah.
Yep. Money. Take that side. Unless it's your side, keep that side.
Yeah.
Ryan in a 12-team Superflex tight end premium. He's in a complete rebuild. He has the 1.03, 106, and 111. Got offered Jerry Jeudy for the 111. His current wide receivers are Bateman and Moore. Rondo.
Not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'll just keep the 111 and hope that my league mates make a mistake and let a quarterback fall farther than he should. Because I'd rather build around a quarterback than Jerry Jeudy. So
I'll just take at the 111 going to be worth it?
League mates make mistakes all the time. I mean, remember where Justin Herbert went in 2020 rookie drafts? How big of a mistake that was?
In the second round.
If you had capitalized on that mistake, you would be you just did your rebuild. Your rebuild is done. The rebuild is done when you get someone who's worth 4 firsts out of nothing. So no, I'm not doing this. Jerry Jeudy's not going to do anything for me. I'm not a fan.
I would do this when you're on the clock. Try to offer this trade again if there's not a quarterback there.
If there's not someone you like better than Jerry Jeudy, but I bet there will be.
Right. Because Jeudy could have that opportunity. If he hits like the first 3 games, if he's like Russell Wilson's guy, you can just flip him.
Problem is you'll know almost immediately, just like we knew last year, and then he got hurt. But we knew almost immediately that the people who were in favor of Jerry Jeudy were right. And the ones who were in favor, of course, it was obvious in game 1. The whole game plan was around Jerry Jeudy, and Cortland Sutton didn't exist. So, it was obvious who was right. But the question is, are those same people going to be right again? With a new quarterback, with a new coaching staff, it was Jerry Jeudy. It was always going to be Jerry Jeudy, but is it still Jerry Jeudy? That is no guarantee.
Dice roll.
Yeah.
Alejandro, 16-team Superflex, 1.5 tight end premium. George Kittle, the 103, and Deontay Johnson, or J.K. Dobbins. Wait, or
no. Pick one. Pick one of these.
Pick one. It's my 3rd round startup. Already got Stafford and Lance. Nice.
Okay. These are all pretty equivalent in value.
Holy crap! 16-team Superflex. Is there another quarterback?
Yeah, I would like it if it would be a quarterback. I mean, Dobbins is kind of out of my consideration with this new news that he's not even ready for training camp at all. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of out. He's dropped down my rankings a good amount.
I think it's the 103.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that way just in case you could get a quarterback there. I mean, it might be time. I mean, when a 16-team Superflex, quarterbacks are worth 5 times as much. So it might just be the 103 and you just take a quarterback anyway. Crazy as that is, quarterbacks are just worth so much in a 16-team Superflex.
Yeah, and I still feel like if you're on the clock and you don't like a quarterback or something crazy like that,
you can trade it. Yeah,
for any of these guys are better.
Almost certainly. Yeah, I would just take the 103. A 16-team Superflex, I'll just take the 103.
Yep, I'll just take the 103. So. Hopefully we got to you in time. That was 20 minutes ago. So yeah, hopefully we got to you in time for your pick.
But we'll see.
Matthew, have the 103, 104, and the 1.05. His league really values running backs. If they take Brees and Walker, would you take Burks, Wilson, London in a 1-quarterback league?
I mean, probably. But again, I feel like this question, unless your draft is now, is not helpful to answer it now. Yeah, those are the 3 players I would take if the draft were in 5 minutes, but I assume it's not. And if it's not, this is not one of those years where my board is very locked in going in, other than the fact that Hall is almost certainly going to be the one because I'm just not impressed with any of the wide receivers. And I would expect Walker to be the 102 for me, unless he really falls, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, those would be my 3 unless Spiller gets like a really good landing spot in the second round.
I'm just not impressed. Yeah, I'm just not impressed with the wide receivers in this class. So if Spiller gets a good landing spot, he'll have the room to move up. I just don't think you're missing out on a generational wide receiver in this class. I don't think it has one.
No, it definitely doesn't have one.
But what that means is I think the class actually has a lot of good, not great players. A lot of good players, actually more than last year. I think this year has more good players than last year had, but it has almost no great players. I think Breece Hall is like the only one in the entire class at any position who's great. Malik Willis is not great. Malik Willis would have been the 6th best quarterback prospect-wise in last year's class. Just so you know. I mean, I know you know, but the people, they know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. BJ says he's missing Cal. Hearts and prayers out to Cal.
Yeah, I miss Cal too.
We all miss Cal.
I have heard from him. He's doing a little bit better.
Good. We were talking, we said after last week's show that when Cal is ready to come back, we're thinking that we're going to do a couple 3 shows.
Yeah, I will ask him between this show and next week if he'd be interested in doing that. So it's possible you get 3 of us next week.
Awesome. Luis asks, what is Amari Cooper's trade value right now?
So let's just go and say that in a super flex, because it's easier, I'll take any first and not any second. So 112 or higher, and he's gone. Won't take a second.
Anything else?
Won't take that.
What's your buy price?
My buy price is even lower. My buy price, I'll go down to 203. Let's say 203. I'll buy.
I'm in.
Not that much lower, but 201. I'll probably pass. 203. If I can get 203, get a discount, I'll buy him. On the risk that Watson is suspended for the whole season, and then I don't want him at all.
There you go. Get that first. 14-team Superflex. Swift for the 107 and a 23 first.
Man.
Oh man.
I hate it. I'll take Swift still, because the 23 first has a much wider range of outcomes than a 14-team Superflex. It could be lower. The range of outcomes is 1 to 14 instead of 1 to 12. So I'll still take Swift.
Yeah,
Swift is just worth more than this.
Yep, I agree. I don't like selling those studs.
I don't either. I don't like selling it, but Swift is worth more.
Yep. What do we have here? Draft for value, trade for need.
Always.
That was from.
That's a Dynasty Outhouse original, isn't it?
It is. Yes, it is.
I think so.
I feel like I say that every single
not that phrase can be an original of anybody, but he's the one that I heard it in as it relates to Dynasty fantasy football first.
Yeah.
That phrase is obviously a very old phrase. Predates fantasy football, I would think.
Russ is smart. He doesn't think he is, but Russ is smart.
I was talking to him today actually about doing a trade, but we have not I haven't made a trade in Trade Addicts in almost 4 months.
Everybody else is addicted. No, you can.
Well, I already have 8 firsts this year and 6 firsts next year, so I'm good. I think I've made my moves. Now I just have to wait. Wait patiently. That's often a problem for me, but I've been waiting patiently to make my 8 first-round picks and 9 second-round picks in this year's draft. I'm very patiently waiting. Why is the pick with Brady, or why is the pick with Hurts? It's the Hurts side. Hurts is worth much more than Brady, so I don't understand this one.
Yeah, this one. Yep, easy.
Yeah, let's move on.
Dobbins is a beast. Don't panic over him.
I would panic a little. I don't like when there's a delay. Why is it taking longer? He was injured before the season. He should be ready. He should be ready for training camp. Why isn't he going to be ready? So I don't want to hear about not ready. So that's not good. So I moved him down my rankings, because once you start hearing bad, it's suddenly, if you notice, when you start hearing something about an injury that's bad, do you usually hear more good things after a bad thing or more bad things? Which one of those two seems to be more likely? Which happens more? You hear more bad things. That's what happens more. So I don't want to start with bad. So yeah, I will lower him down my rankings for sure. I've already done it.
especially in the offseason when everybody's good, everybody's
Yeah,
the
in the
healthiest they can
offseason,
be.
everything is great.
Yep.
Everything is wonderful. So this is
Yep.
not wonderful.
Yeah.
So right now he's down at RB9, but he's going to continue moving down. He's got some spots to go. He's got some spots to go down if he's not careful. He could find himself out of RB1 range very easily.
Yeah. Yep. BJ asks, is David Johnson fully cuttable?
He's fully cuttable last year. So yes.
Yes, he is. How the mighty have fallen. Chris Sims ranks his top wide receiver prospects as Jameson Williams. Chris, okay.
Nobody cares what Chris Sims says.
That's clickbait. Go look at his quarterback rankings from last year. He had like Zach Wilson 1 and Trevor
he had
Lawrence
Taysom
like
Hill
7.
above Tua, so I'm sure you love him.
He doesn't make sense whatsoever.
No, Chris Sims is a nice guy. He had a nice NFL career. He has a good dad, but that's it.
No, this ain't it. This is not it. My Jameson Williams video drops tomorrow, and I have a few concerns. So
some concerns, I see.
Just a couple. Jacob asks, what's the difference between Nick Chubb and Aaron Jones in a 10-team half PPR?
A lot.
There's a pretty big difference.
Now with Watson, it's an even bigger difference.
I love Aaron Jones. I'm sorry. Buddy.
Yeah, you do. But AJ Dillon, I think AJ Dillon is the better running back at this point.
Now, yes.
Now. I don't know. I don't think that he was, but I think he will be moving forward.
Yep. Yeah, I would take Chubb over Aaron Jones.
Well, in fantasy football is PPR. And that means that I still think for fantasy football, I would rank Aaron Jones ahead. But I think AJ Dillon is the better player. Except the problem is he's going to be the one more dependent on touchdowns. I mean, AJ Dillon led the Packers in carries last year, not Aaron Jones.
Right.
So,
Jones just got the receptions.
Yeah. They're going to be a hard avoid for me. In redraft anyway. AJ Dillon I still like in Dynasty because one injury to Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon is a high-end RB1. I think he can handle everything. I think AJ Dillon actually can do what Aaron Jones never did and handle all the work. Aaron Jones, I don't think is capable of that, but AJ Dillon is. AJ Dillon could take all the carries, and he's actually was better in the passing game than people think. A lot better than he looked out of college. He could handle everything. He could be 85, 90% of the work in a way Aaron Jones never was. So AJ Dillon is the one who comes with a massive ceiling, actually, not Aaron Jones.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. AJ Dillon could do what Najee did last year easily.
Yeah, if somehow Aaron Jones disappeared.
Yep.
That's not happening imminently. Aaron Jones didn't look washed or anything. This is just that AJ Dillon is also good, also very good. So that's going to be a problem. When you have two running backs that are very good, you don't get an RB1 in that backfield almost ever.
Right. Alex asks, settle a bet for me. How does the AFC West shape up? He has Raider fans who are friends who say that they are taking the division, but he feels that Russ will take Denver down pretty far.
Yeah, I'm actually going to make a bold move and go with the Chargers, actually. Go with the Chargers. I like the Chargers. I like what their offseason has been doing. I really like the moves that they've made. They're really investing on the defense. The defense last year was bad, very bad, but the offense was good. So if the defense can just play up to the offensive standard, I think they're a competitor. Kansas City is much worse. They're way worse. Denver, I think, could be the second best team. Kansas City, I'm a little worried about. And, the Raiders are last for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to quarterback, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Derek Carr in the NFL is not at the level of Russ, Mahomes.
Yeah. Mahomes and Herbert are the best. And then, Russ is not far behind and Carr is way down. But it's funny because Carr is probably still a top half quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
He's last in that division.
The Chargers also have the earliest first round pick of the bunch.
Yeah, how would you feel if let's just say hypothetically, I don't know, Treylon Burks went to the Chargers? How would that go? Can you imagine? Just hypothetically.
Yeah, that would be
how would that be for a loaded wide receiver core?
All the Justin Herbert.
Can you imagine?
That would I would feel that about that same way if they took like anybody. Like if they took a
I feel like
Olave, that's
Jameson
like a
Williams is
burner.
more in line with what they need.
They need, yeah.
Actually,
If it's just a burner and Herbert can just chuck it to
can you
Jameson
imagine
Williams,
if he had one of the best slot receivers in the league, the big target, and the burner all in one offense? Imagine it.
that would be really fun.
I know. They might do it. They might do it. I wouldn't put it past
I hope
them.
they do it. I'm actually hoping for it now. You kind of put it in my head, and now I want it.
Yeah.
Trogdor, can you update the percentage that Jimmy G starts week 1 for San Fran?
It's actually less than it was the last time you asked. They are very clear that they promised Trey Lance the starting job. So the chance that Jimmy G starts week 1 is like 5%. He's not going to be there. They're saying he's going to be there because of course they are to have leverage, but I think they cut him before the season.
Ooh. Cut
I think they're
or maybe something happens.
They can literally wait until the last possible minute to see if another team has an injury.
Right. They could Sam Bradford him real quick.
They could wait until the last minute. They don't have to cut him until like the day before the season, or not the day, but it's like 5 days before is the deadline.
Whenever so they can literally let the entire preseason basically go through.
Correct. Yeah, they can let it all go, and they can just wait until the last minute. And if they're gonna cut him, they're gonna cut him then, because it gives other teams the least opportunity to sign him.
Right. How fun! I thought of this the other day. How funny would it be if they sent him to Seattle? I feel like that would be like such a middle finger to Seattle, because it'd be like how confident do you have to be as a Niners to be like, nah, we're sending our starting quarterback from last year to our division opponent, and we don't care.
This situation is different from the Baker Mayfield situation because they have to pay Baker Mayfield the money no matter what. So there's actually no incentive to drag out the Baker Mayfield situation. Whereas with this situation, they have an out that they can use at any time. So they have every incentive to drag it out until they get the return that they want.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they don't need him on the roster. So I do agree. The percentage is going down.
Yeah.
It'll stay this way until he's gone, probably. Unless Trey Lance gets hurt. But yeah. Mystical Chow wanted to shout you out. Said you're awesome.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Alex, hey guys, any of you would be holding off on buying until after the NFL draft? He's considering a move. Oh, anyone you would be holding off on buying until after the NFL draft, considering a move from Mitchell and Amon-Ra, but he's a little worried about them losing work to rookies.
Michael Carter.
Yep.
Miles Sanders. Less Mitchell. I don't really see Mitchell. Now that I don't think they re-signed Jeff Wilson if they're also going to make. They still probably want to get something out of Trey Sermon. I don't think they're going to pick one of the top running backs in the draft. No. But yeah, Carter, Sanders, those are the ones where I'm the most worried.
I'm trying to look. I'm a little worried on Amon-Ra just because I feel like I know that they're just going to bring somebody in and that's going to hurt his value. Whether or not that actually hurts him, I don't know, but it's going to hurt his value.
I'm not that worried about that, honestly. I mean, I'm maybe a little bit concerned, but not overly so. That's not top of my list.
It's always just a bunch of running backs.
Yeah, it's a bunch of running backs. I mean, I wouldn't buy Mariota or Trubisky because they could bring in someone, either of those two teams. They could bring in a rookie quarterback that ends up winning the job.
Devin Singletary.
Yeah. Breece Hall is in play at 25.
Absolutely.
Oh, also, I have heard that Washington is meeting with quarterbacks at the NFL draft. They are meeting with quarterbacks.
I'm actually very curious. I do that that little like nice little conditionally formatted Google or Excel sheet that shows what teams have met with what players. So I'm actually really interested to see where that lands.
Yeah, they've been meeting with quarterbacks, so they're very interested in taking a quarterback in this year's class.
Yeah. And they're 10?
11.
Yeah.
So they may take a quarterback.
It'll be interesting. But yeah, just a bunch of running backs, basically. The mid running backs. Yeah. Jacob, assuming that decent to great landing spot, Breece Hall or DeAndre Swift?
What is decent to great? I'll still take Swift. There is no perfect landing spot.
What's the best spot for Breece Hall?
the
Buffalo,
best spot.
Atlanta,
No, not Atlanta. Yeah, maybe
Miami.
Buffalo. Maybe Buffalo.
I bet you.
Buffalo is a good spot. Buffalo is a very, very good spot. Yeah, there aren't a lot of great spots in the first round, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's kind of got to slip into the second round a little bit. That's where you get to. I mean, he's gonna suck if he's like an early second because it's gonna be maybe like Houston.
Houston
Atlanta.
would really suck, yeah.
He'll get
But
the opportunity, but boy, is that gonna be.
that would really suck.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there isn't that perfect landing spot. So unless someone trades around in a way that I'm not foreseeing, I would still stick with Swift.
Yeah. Yep. There's no Najee to Pittsburgh.
No, not this year.
That sucks. How do you think Russ does in Denver? He thinks he does wonders for their offense.
I think he'll be good. I mean, Russell Wilson has always been good, but I'm not expecting like a world beater, honestly.
I think he'll be better than Teddy Bridgewater.
That's not a high bar.
If Sutton and Jude are both top 24, I would.
I mean, you know what I used to say about last year's Broncos duo? They had Drew Disaster and Timid Teddy.
Those nicknames are so good.
Yeah.
I love them.
Denzel Minimal, I still think is my best.
We gotta do, you know how like the fancy footballers have like a nicknames t-shirt? I mean, that's the second one after the failure t-shirt with all yours.
Well, we haven't talked about Juju yet. We'll see.
No.
Rojo.
Hey, leave him alone.
Rojo?
I saw you quote tweeted the one Rojo trade, and I was like, I agreed with you. You took the non-Rojo side. It was like,
why would I ever take the Rojo side? It's Rojo is the epitome of big failure. I'll take ETN over Davis in the 103.
203, yeah.
203, yeah. ETN,
yep.
Yeah.
ETN. Man, those ones are good. So real quick, I love the fact that he added recovering to his name. I noticed this in the comments a couple of days ago, and I thought it was fantastic. So Ridley Truther, I'm right there with you. Recovering Ridley Truther. Does Miami signing a fullback tell us all we need to know about them running the Shanahan offense?
Maybe a little. I still think they don't have the running back that they need to run that offense. I mean, Chase Edmonds doesn't impress me. I hear all this talk about Raheem Mostert being all that great. We're going to talk about it, and he's getting injured week 1. So I don't want to hear about that. So no, I still think that Miami is going to draft a running back in this year's draft. I mean, we know Myles Gaskin doesn't cut it. You know, I think those other guys, they kind of feel more like backups to me. I would not be at all surprised if when is Miami's first pick? It could be a while. Somewhere in the 3rd round. Yeah, it's very.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, their draft picks are kind of depleted. But they do have that pick at 102 overall. I guess it'll be tough for them to get a good running back, but I still have a bad feeling about this, that we're not going to like it.
The thing that signaled to me that they're running a Shanahan offense was actually the signing of Raheem Mostert. Wasn't that I thought Raheem Mostert was going to, was because of that. It was more so that I saw that they're just signing a whole bunch of running backs that aren't really expensive, and they're just going to.
I still think that if they run the ball a lot, that shows that Tua just doesn't cut it. They got to pass the ball more with this offense.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. West Coast Schiefer, what's up, guys? 12 team super flex PPR. He's got an offer of Alberto, the 109, and a 23 second for Hawkinson and the 2.03.
I mean, it's not tight end premium. I'll just take that 109 side. 109. But if it is tight end premium, that raises the value of Hawkinson a lot. Like a lot. And I would much more consider the Hawkinson side.
Yeah. So I think there's your answer right there. If it's a tight end premium Hawk, if it's not,
the 109 side.
David traded Tyreek Hill, Darren Waller, and Zach Wilson for Lamar Jackson and Amari Cooper just before the Hill trade was announced.
You got away with it then. I'll take Lamar.
Yeah, I'll take Lamar.
It's a lot to pay, to be honest. It's not an insignificant amount, but I'll still take Lamar in Superflex.
Yep. Ed agrees with us. He'll take Swift over Bryce Hall.
Brees Hall, but
Easy.
yeah.
That's what I said, right? Swift over Brees Hall.
Close enough.
Yeah, we're in here. Elijah just got the 22, 1.01, and Will Fuller for Mark Andrews, Tyler Boyd, and the 2.07 in a half PPR 12-team league where he already has Kyle Pitts. Did he overpay for Brees Hall?
Probably, but it's not that bad.
I don't think.
It's not that bad. It's fine. I had to live with it.
Would you take Mark Andrews over the 101? No, right?
No.
Okay.
No. It's fine.
I just don't know how much Tyler Boyd in the 207 add.
Yeah, if Will Fuller lands somewhere, it'll look a little better.
When he lands in Cleveland, and
if he lands in Cleveland
or Kansas City or Green Bay, I'm still holding out hope that Will Fuller, not that he can go back to what he was 2 years ago, but at least be something.
Yeah, Green Bay, I think, is the most likely of those.
That'd be fun. I would enjoy it. Gentlemen, great to see you. Great to see you. Back at you. Rebuilding for a 23 and 24 contender. Should I keep ETN for that? Wait. Hold on. He's rebuilding.
So should we keep ETN for moving for the contending, or should we pivot off of him? I'm fine pivoting off of him. It depends what you can get. I don't know.
There's a comment I received today on the channel that they traded the 105 for ETN. So in a rebuild, I'd rather have the 1.05.
Yeah, probably.
So that's where I would go with that. ETN in 2 years. Well, next year he's going to be 25, I think. And then
he's 23 now. January 99.
Oh, so he just turned 23. Okay, so
yeah, January 99.
25. Oh, yeah. Okay.
You haven't done the birthday game with me yet.
They sneak in there every now and then.
Well, I force them in there.
Yeah. No, I like it. Really, Truther again, will the NFL have to move to a max and supermax contract like the NBA? That's an interesting question. Maybe? I feel like you got it.
Maybe. I never thought about that. It's actually kind of interesting. I would say I actually don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't know if the players agree to it, but honestly, it might be good because the majority of players, it might give them more income if it's not all tied up in one player. So I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone really clamoring for this, but it's not a bad idea.
It had to be fully guaranteed, right? On like fully
probably
guaranteed.
Yeah. And that also is a little weird with the way the NFL works. My guess is it doesn't happen. Just to put a guess on it. I don't expect it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
With the salary cap going up every year as it normally does outside of like last year.
Yeah.
The contract, I don't think there's going to be really any incentive for them to move towards this, but it would be interesting.
Well, usually max and supermax are set up as a percentage of the cap.
Right.
So it wouldn't matter if it would just be percentage of the cap over time.
Yeah, but I mean, like it just doesn't really
There's also nothing stopping an NFL team from doing a percentage of the cap contract with any player. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. They can structure a contract that way if they want.
That would be interesting. I'd be curious to see that.
There was some talk about that with Mahomes' deal, but it didn't end up being that way. But you can structure a contract that way. There's nothing preventing it.
Lamar, let's get it. Get on that.
I could see it if he reaches free agency.
Mystical Child again, 12-team Superflex. Josh Allen, Rodgers, Henry Hunt, Lamb. That's his team. Scrubs for a bench. No picks until 2023 third. Is he rebuilding or is he fighting for the death?
Oh, this is hard to tell just by quickly looking, but I generally favor rebuilding if I have to guess and it's close, but you don't have your own 23 first, which sucks. So,
or any picks this year.
Any picks this year. Yeah. Not great, because there's probably not enough left here to win.
Yeah, you need no injuries.
Yeah. Ouch.
And even then.
Yeah, this is not ideal. This is a situation that I would have avoided getting myself into. And if you were subscribed to my Patreon, I would probably yell at you for getting in this situation and then help you. But I'd be like, how did this happen?
I think I go in a rebuild because you got pieces to really enter a rebuild.
How do you do a rebuild though? You don't have your own first next year. I mean, what are you gonna? I guess
you sell Aaron Rodgers, you sell Derrick Henry, you sell Devontae.
Oh yeah, that's how you do any rebuild. But it's not. it's not so easy. People aren't selling 23 first so easily.
Yeah, you can get this year though.
True.
I just
You
sold
do what
Aaron
you,
Rodgers for a 23 first and second.
you do
so.
what you can. It is what it is. This is one of those years where you might have to, if you really want to rebuild, you might have to take 2 years.
Oh, I would
Hard to
love
get
to get in
23
on
first.
2024.
It's hard to get 23 first. So you might, if it's really bad, it's a good time to, if your team is just a disaster, it's a good time to just tear it all down.
2024. Get those firsts.
Yep.
David asked, should he be insulted if he was offered the 103, 110, 112, and Ramondre Stevenson for Jonathan Taylor?
That offer is pretty insulting. Yeah, I would laugh that offer off. That offer is a joke.
But he added Ramondre.
Ramondre is kind of a joke. So he's a committee back that I don't care about. So it's a joke. Yeah, I'll take Jonathan Taylor easily.
JT. BJ, would you trade DK Metcalf now before he gets traded to a better team?
Didn't see that comment when I said he was going to be on the Chiefs.
That's funny.
He would work on the Chiefs, I think. I think he would be, I would rank him as a mid wide receiver 1 if he were traded to the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
In redraft, forget Dynasty. Dynasty, he'd be my wide receiver 3 again.
Yeah.
Yes, I did a buy thread on Twitter, and DK Metcalf was my suggestion. So yes, is the answer to this question. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Put the Metcalf trades in the chat, suggested or completed.
Yeah. Please let us know because I'm actually curious.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or in the comments after the video. If you watched the video and then you decided to go and trade for Metcalf, put the trade you did in the comments, and Addison will respond for the DLF account and I'll respond from my account.
Yep. Maybe I'll talk to Russ about doing DK Metcalf when we
why not? Yeah. Russ, I know, has a lot of opinions on DK Metcalf. I just tried to trade for him today and it was declined.
Yes. Those Seahawks fans,
Yeah, I know.
Ed thinks that the NFL
is basically what we said.
Doesn't move because the revenue is exploding. Yep. Harris, would you be comfortable? What would you be comfortable paying for DK Metcalf? Great transition. I wish I planned it. Guy in his league wants 2 firsts in 2023 for DK.
Oh,
I would want that for DK as well.
I'll pay that. Yeah, I'll pay that.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Money. I like it. I still feel like you can get him for a little.
I think you can get him for less.
Leagues. Yeah.
I think you can get him for less, but I would pay that.
But I would pay it. Yep. David, Kirk in a 24 third or Melvin Gordon in a 23 second?
So Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
I'll take Christian Kirk, but it's not like I want I'm probably not even. I mean, if I have a 23 second, I'm probably not investing it on Christian Kirk this way. I don't. That's true. Yes. I don't know. This trade is so unappealing to me. If I have the 23 second, I'm trading for something I actually want, not Christian Kirk. If I have Christian Kirk, I don't want an old running back, and just that feels like it's not enough in return. So this is one of those trades I feel like I'm not making this trade either way. I'm going to do something else with my assets.
Yeah, doesn't strike me in my heart.
No.
Zach, Frymus seems very undervalued right now.
Absolutely.
Awful, randomly falling over every other play.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think he is undervalued. I think people have forgotten what his rookie season was like. People have forgotten that, rookie tight ends often don't produce at all. And he was good. I think that's a good sign. Second round draft capital is good for a tight end. I don't see a problem.
Go out and get him.
That sucked too. It's only going to get better. Can't be worse than it was.
Yeah.
People overthink things too. I hear this other narrative about how, because Ben sucked, he relied on throwing to the tight end more often. And that now Fryer, you don't want quarterbacks who suck. Just instead of galaxy braining yourself, most people, Dynasty is really easy, actually. Actually, it's really easy. I say that, it's easy, right? It's easy. Most of what I do on, let's say, my Patreon, for example, is mostly telling my patrons not to do the ideas that they convince themselves into doing. It's most of what I do is don't do that. No, you're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's usually the simplest answer is the best one. And the simplest answer here is that Freiermuth has the draft capital, produced as a rookie, and should have a good career going forward. That's the simplest answer. It's good enough.
Good enough for me. Let's go, Steelers fans. M. Stevens asks us to rank these quarterbacks in Dynasty: Jackson, Murray, and Burrow.
That's three. That's three quarterbacks everyone likes.
Say yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. I agree with that. I'll take Murray, Lamar, Burrow in that order.
I might be Lamar, Murray, Burrow, but that could be convinced.
Yeah,
I definitely think Burrow is the last of the three.
Burrow's definitely last. People are a little confused by the Super Bowl run. If you actually look at Burrow's fantasy points, they're not there.
Yeah.
They're not there on the level of the other players.
I actually used him as one of the testing things for that new little graph tool that I showed you in the Slack channel. And I was pretty surprised on how not great he was last year.
I know that, but not everyone does. The people just remember the Super Bowl and they don't remember that for fantasy production, he wasn't special.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because he doesn't run.
Bella asked in a 12-team, one quarterback, Godwin and McLaurin and McCole Hardman, or Waddle and Elijah Moore.
Well, McCole Hardman is actually a negative. Having to take him actually reduces the value of that side of the trade, but it's the Waddle side.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
I really do think McCole Hardman is a negative. I wouldn't want him on my team.
I said that to somebody actually. They were asking my advice on a trade, and I said that I think that when you throw in players like McCole Hardman, it gives you a negative connotation of the side that you're giving them, because it makes it seem like you're dumping players off on them, and they're like,
I know it often doesn't help.
Yeah. It's like, well, you get 3 players to my 2. That's better, right? And it's like,
it's not actually better.
Psychologically, it's not better.
Well, also, if people are listening to this channel, we know that avoiding failure is key. So they're not going to consider the trade if it has failure in it.
Yeah. I'll take Waddle and Elijah Moore.
Yeah, easily, though.
How much do you weigh rookie comparables? Example, only 3 running backs since 2002 with the height, weight of Kenneth Walker and lack of reception production in college ever finished as I saw this tweet, actually.
Don't weigh it at all. I don't weigh it at all. I don't care. I don't care. I think I can do better than that. I think I can do better. I don't care about a comparable because that's a history. That's a lot of things. The only comparable I care about is draft capital. Nothing.
I would also say, to slightly combat this, as somebody who studied Kenneth Walker a little bit, is that I don't think that lack of reception was because of Kenneth Walker. I think that was because of Wake Forest and Michigan State.
The only comparables I care about are draft capital. Everything else, I look at the player alone without comparing.
Yeah.
If that answers your question, the answer to this question is 0.
I had that quote tweeted and I wanted to respond, but I just couldn't find a good way to respond to it. But
yeah, historical comparables I don't do. If you're asking, do I look at this year's combine and look at the times in order? Yeah, I do that. But I don't go back to 2002. I don't care. Because all I care about with looking at the combine is I use the combine to try to predict who's going to be drafted earlier.
Yep.
So, of course, I'm going to compare the running backs this year, but I don't care about how they compare to last year because that's a different pool. They're not in the pool this year. All I care about is what's going to affect the order that they're drafted in this year, how high draft capital they're going to get.
If you want different comps in favor of Kenneth Walker, go watch my Kenneth Walker video. And I gave you a couple comps at the end of that as well that are more in favor of Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, and I'm also the wrong person. I'm also the wrong person to ask because I don't do this kind of meta analyses. I think that they're a lot of effort and don't add a lot of value. Honestly.
Ryan asked in a 12-team Superflex tight end premium, which side of this do you like?
Oh, well, it has Noah Kant on one side. So we don't want that. I'll take the picks.
I'll take Noah Fant.
I don't want Noah Fant. Noah Fant does a lot of running. There's a lot of running and he's just not very good. So I don't want not very good. Not very good just doesn't work for me.
I'll take Noah Fant. I don't like it, but I'll take it over a bunch of thirds.
Well, there's a second over there.
Yeah,
so I'd rather have the second over Fant, and then I'd rather have the fourths or whatever, but I'd rather have the 2/3 over Gordon. If Gordon hasn't signed yet, that's not good. That means nobody wants him.
Yeah, just take the second. Okay. Ronnie, would you trade Mac Jones and 223 first
Whoa.
for Lamar Jackson?
Oh, I don't want to. That's a lot to give up for any player. But Mac Jones is worth a good amount. I can't. If I had Lamar, this is not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
How projected. This is another thing that you want to talk about something I can rail on. Somehow, whenever you're trading something away, I'm going to rail on this one for a second. Whenever you're trading 23 firsts away, somehow they're always late. And whenever you're acquiring them, somehow they're always early. I guarantee, we're going to come back. We're going to come back in January, and I'm going to get the sob story. Oh, no, the pick actually ended up being early, and now I gave up Bijan Robinson. People are overconfident in their ability to be projected late, projected early. Way overconfident. Careful with what you assume. Really, seriously. I have seen multiple leagues just last year. The team was horrible. It was horrible. It went into the league. Fantasy Pros, I looked at the redraft ranking of that team. Dead last. And that team won. Because it had like Jalen Waddle.
And
what, player
Cordell Patterson.
It had Jalen Waddle, Cordell Patterson. It did actually have Cordell Patterson. It had players you wouldn't have ever thought of on a redraft ranking would be successful. But somehow that team won. So careful with this. I still take Lamar, but I caution people. The 23 class is not like this year, which is more flat. The 23 class is going to have stars at the top. If you project a first late and it ends up being early, you're going to be very sorry. So be very careful. And I only am spending a lot of time harping on this because it is very important. We haven't had a class like this in a long time. Since really 2020. So the last two classes haven't had players like this to this degree. But this one does. So be very careful in assuming.
Sorry, Ronnie, you kind of got the hammer on that one, but it's all to help make you better.
Ronnie didn't get the hammer because this trade is a very interesting trade. It's a very fair trade. Sure. I caution people against this because it's just, this is how you end up with a team in shambles is really why your team doesn't do well. And then you end up having an early first that you don't actually have. And then you can't rebuild. So I just warn people about this because this is how we get orphans as well in leagues as well. Stuff like that.
So we're taking Lamar. Is that the answer?
I guess so, but Lamar? Yeah, I guess I'll take Lamar. I mean, if I have Lamar, this is not good enough. I want more than this to trade him away.
Yeah.
I'd rather not pay it, but
he says he's stacked at running back and wide receiver too.
I don't really want to pay it, but I guess careful though.
Ed says that Freiermuth seems decently rated for him. He's not sure that the athleticism to be. He's not sure if he has the athleticism to be a true top 3 elite. Yeah, I think he kind of does. I mean, Mark Andrews doesn't have great athleticism. Travis Kelce's not an insane athlete either.
Mark Andrews looks pretty athletic to me.
Yeah, but I think that's
right. He's not a speed demon. No.
Right. He's not Kyle Pitts. He's not George Kittle.
He's
not what Darren Waller was a couple years
There's
ago.
one other player that tested like Kyle Pitts ever.
Yeah. So
Vernon Davis.
Yeah.
He's the only other player to.
Eric Ebron was pretty close.
Not to that level.
Yeah. No, I agree. Freiermuth is gonna be great. Giddy up. Swapped Swifty in 2 late seconds for Justin Jefferson. A mid-third, 2 fourths, 10-team Superflex, half PPR. Win, lose, even Steven?
I feel like I'm not getting a first with Swift, so I'll take Jefferson.
Yeah,
it's not good enough.
I think he got Justin Jefferson. He gave
then
up.
I like
he
it.
gave up
I
Swift
like
in seconds.
I'll take Jefferson then.
Win-win.
I want the Jefferson side.
I'll give you a win. Weaves Addison in 10-man Superflex, half PPR. Just got a deal done. Gallup the 109, the 209 for DK Metcalf.
Where's that applause? I need that applause, please. Applause.
That's something that we need to work at. For
come on. I mean, this is. Go offer this. If you have Gallup, go offer this. Offer this in your league and go and offer this.
Yep. This is the trade you need to get done before he gets traded to the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, make this trade immediately. Immediately make this trade before it's too late.
Oh,
I guess he already made it, so it was good.
Back for Freiermuth. Really Truthers attempting to trade Kirk and a
Okay, well,
23
hold on.
first.
I didn't say to do that. Let's
And
not
I'm-
trade. Let's not do that.
He traded Gesicki for a 23 first and Ingram.
Okay, that one I like. That one's good. But we don't want to trade a 23 first plus for Freiermuth. I'm not doing that.
No.
No, I'm not doing that.
No. Do Kirk in the second.
And that would be better. That I like better. I like that one.
Yep. Weaves asked again, what's the highest pick you would trade for Fournette and a half PPR?
So let's say it's a super flex then. Yeah, Fournette's actually in the same boat as Amari Cooper, really. I have them back to back. So I'll if I'm buying Fournette, I'd like to pay like a 202 or 203, but that's unlikely to happen. So I'm probably not buying Fournette. He's gonna be too expensive for me.
My first number that popped in my head was like 112. If you,
Yeah, but see, I'm just
needed
not
the
paying
contender.
that. So I'm just not buying Fournette. I don't think I'm gonna be able to pay what I would want to pay.
Throw a couple seconds at him.
Yeah, but that's not gonna go through.
Tyler, where does Godwin slot in your super flex rookie pick?
He
That's
knows what to ask. Yeah, I mean, I would suggest signing up for the Patreon so you can see where everyone slots in. But he slots in between the 104 and the 105.
Oh,
Lower than you thought?
I thought he would have been around the 103-ish.
Oh no, I don't
Right
know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see where that ends up with how the quarterbacks fall. But I mean, there was one mock draft where three quarterbacks went in the top 10. Hey, if three quarterbacks went in the top 10, then he would probably be below the 105.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll have to see.
I'm so excited for the draft.
It's possible that there's a wide receiver in this class that I prefer over Godwin. It's no lock that there isn't.
Mhm.
It's possible. I would say that's up in the air.
Drake London to the Packers.
Well, no, what if the top wide receiver, goes to the Chargers at 17? I know it's crowded, but look a little long term. They're not going to be able to keep.
Yeah, Keenan won't be on the team in 2 years.
Not going to be able to keep them all forever, and you're going to want the guy with first round draft capital on the Chargers eventually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the return of the king. Henry is back.
Oh, Henry's a legend.
Henry's a legend. Football. Yes, he is.
I'm working my way up to being more of a legend than Henry. I'll get there someday. Not in terms of winnings.
That's a steep climb, my friend. Steep climb indeed.
Well, in terms of winnings, I'll never get there. I don't play enough. But
Rob asked an attempting Superflex half PPR. Bateman in the 108 for 2023 firsts. He's also got Tyreek.
Yeah, give me the 23 firsts
and the 105.
Yeah, Bateman has a lot of maybes, so I'll take the 23 firsts.
Yep, I like just hitting the reset button on Bateman. You can get another wide receiver like him next year, I think, pretty easily.
Yeah, one who doesn't play in an offensive black hole.
Yes. Yeah, that made me sad. Jake in a 12-team Superflex, 1.5 tight end premium. Holy picks. Trade picks for quarterback or draft a quarterback with a 104, 201, 301, 305.
I mean, if all you have is Fields, Mills, and Love, then I would consider trading picks for a quarterback. I think that you can get, and this is kind of insane, I think you can get Mac Jones plus for the 104.
Yes.
I think you can get Mac Jones and something else. I think you can get Derek Carr and something else for the 104. And that's what I would do.
Would you go for Justin Fields?
He already has Fields.
Oh, reading. Would you go for Stafford?
That's shooting a little high. I think you might struggle to get him.
Yeah.
You'd have to offer everything on this list to get Stafford.
I think I would definitely be looking around to try to trade for a quarterback first, because I don't think a quarterback that you want or really like is going to be there.
No, I don't think that if you're picking by value, I don't think you're going to be picking any quarterbacks with any of your picks. I think that 104 will not be a quarterback, and then all of the quarterbacks will be gone before 201. So I actually don't think you'll be picking a quarterback with any of your selections.
Yep.
So I would suggest going beyond that and trying to get a quarterback elsewhere.
Or try to just get the 101 with all that as well.
Good luck.
Yes, but
good luck with that.
trade for a quarterback.
Yeah, that may be more difficult.
If Gordon resigns with Denver, what should he do with Javonte? Sell or hold?
If Gordon resigns with Denver, then you buy Javonte. Come on, this is Dynasty 101, guys. Like,
But if he already has Javonte, he's holding him.
then you hold Javonte. You don't sell him. Sell him now if you're that worried about it.
You know how confident you have to be in Javonte now for like them to not have prioritized Melvin Gordon to the fact that he's still a free agent?
Yeah.
Like if they sign him now, that's like we just want you for depth at this point.
Careful. Arizona signed James Conner way late last year, and we saw what happened. That's usually right, but not always.
Yeah. How was that before or after the draft? Did they sign Conner?
After. That was like in May.
I'm wondering if they planned on getting a running back and then they signed James Conner.
Maybe. Either way, though, hold him if Gordon resigns.
Absolutely. Henry says that you made a great call in a trade offer last year, but he did not take the advice. He was offered Cam Akers for Reagor and a future second, and he tried to only give Reagor, and he got cold feet and back out.
Boy.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Sometimes the best trades are the ones that you don't do, and sometimes the worst trades are the one that you don't do.
This one hurts.
Yeah, that's sorry, Henry.
I think Reagor is big failure is not even good enough for Reagor. He's failure extreme. Failure extreme.
I love watching you just sit there and try to come up with
failure. Extreme failure, I think, is good enough for him. And honestly, I think that's even kind. The only reason that I can be a little kind to him is because they drafted another receiver in 2019. That was even worse.
Sean asked, traded Knox, Everett, Edmonds in a 23 first and second for Kamara and Kelsey in a 12-team Superflex.
I mean, the values with Kamara and Kelsey, but I generally don't recommend trading into them.
I would have done that trade. Then I'm trying to trade both Kamara and Kelsey individually for 23 firsts.
Yeah, that would be nice. But
that would be fun.
I caution people against doing this kind of stuff.
Henry asks, let's see if you can give him another good advice. Would you trade Zeke in the 114 for Christian McCaffrey?
Yes.
In a 16-team PPR tight end.
Yes. I hope you know this. You don't need me to tell you this, Henry. Come on. Have some faith in yourself, Henry. You know the answer to this. You're literally have won like the most money of any fantasy football player ever. Come on. It's Christian McCaffrey easily.
Some people just need
I know. A little bit of reassurance, but I know Henry knows the answer to this question.
Yep.
I feel like a teacher sometimes. I know you know it. I know you know the answer. I really do.
Some people don't test well, you know. Ryan asked in a 12-team Superflex PPR tight end premium, not trading any of my 22 first, but my picks in 2023. Do you trade for some established players, draft them all, or a little bit of both?
I mean, I'm fine doing any of these. This question is it's too vague. I don't have a general answer to it, so I would just say it's too vague and just be like, I'm fine with any of them, honestly. Like, it's just, these are the kind of questions I generally am just like, this question is too vague. Like, I can't, any answer I give is misleading. So
get value no matter what you do.
But my answer to this question is not answering it and just repeating something like get value, focus on value, that kind of thing.
Matt wants to argue, says that AJ Dillon will never finish higher than Aaron Jones has.
Considering Aaron Jones finished as the RB2 in one season, yeah, I mean, the odds that AJ Dillon finishes higher are low, but, you know, I'm talking about the workload. AJ Dillon can get a work. Aaron Jones is, you know, was like another Alvin Kamara that year, efficiency wise. What I'm saying about AJ Dillon is that he can be a workhorse in a way that Aaron Jones was not. Of course, he's not going to be as efficient as Aaron Jones ever was. That's not his game. He can't do that.
Unless he scores like 20 touchdowns like Derrick Henry.
He has a higher ceiling of volume than Aaron Jones ever had. Put it that way. Is that fair?
If you put a pin into today's date and said over the next 3 years, who has more fantasy points, Aaron Jones or AJ Dillon?
Well, it's AJ Dillon because Aaron Jones is going to play 3 more years.
Exactly. I think that was the point that we were more trying to make, was that we would, at this point right now, AJ Dillon over Aaron Jones.
I'm going to rank them close this year.
Yeah. Henry, again, would you trade the 112 in a future first for Cup? Yes.
I think I have to. I think I'll just take my chances on Cup. Not the trade I would love to make, but I think I'm going to make a bold move and take a risk.
Yep. No, I'm in on it.
Yeah.
Henry's getting Cup and Christian McCaffrey.
I know. I kind of like that.
Day,
Getting Cup and Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah. Holy crap. Someone offered me a 24-second for Mike Evans in 12-team Superflex. How do I virtually slap someone like Will Smith?
Yeah. This is not good enough value. So. And I don't know what if you want to virtually slap them, just have them ask a question on this show about how Rojo is a sleeper and has immense talent, underlying talent, and then I'll fix their wagon.
I'm gonna send you the keep Rojo's name out. That's what I'm gonna say to you. Anyway. Henry said that he was offered Cup last year for the 111 and passed because he had to draft Lance in a 1-quarterback league.
Oops. Not good.
And the amount of leagues that Henry is in, the amount of trades that he has offered
or remember this.
Passed, and it's Henry's insane. Gavin, should I pivot from Aaron Jones to Miles Sanders in a 23 first?
Yes. But then get rid of Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
For anything you can get.
Yeah. But I'll take the 23 first. I want that.
Me too.
Oh, a couple years ago, I took a gamble on Antonio Gibson because of my advice. Traded him at the 212 and then traded him for 3 first-round picks. Let's go.
Were you an early Antonio Gibson truther?
I don't think so.
I was.
I was surprised you were able to get the 212.
No, you could. Very early. I was a very early Antonio Gibson truther. It was one of the first things I ever said.
Wow.
Actually. First relevant or memorable things I ever said was to take Antonio Gibson in the second round.
Well, there we go. You're welcome.
But then I became the Antonio Gibson hater because I said that he can't be Christian McCaffrey. But the Antonio Gibson hive came for me.
That you were once a part of.
I have outlived them. I have outlived the Antonio Gibson hive. So I think I'll be fine.
Is Mike Williams a good buy low? He seems to be valued around wide receiver 30 to 35, but was back end wide receiver 1 last year. First year with Herbert. Just got a major extension.
Nope. He's a good sell high. Not a good buy low. I do think there's a good chance they draft someone at 17 and it gets very crowded up in there. I really do.
Mike Williams was so high for 6 weeks and then crashed so hard.
And what do you think is more realistic?
The second half. That fits with the rest of his career.
That deal is essentially just a 2-year deal. So
yeah. No.
If they draft someone in the first round, the clock starts.
I think the clock's already started.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Thoughts on selling JT at his highest peak in a 1-quarterback league? JT, Dak, and the 101 for Pitts.
No, it's just JT and Dak for 101 Pitts, 23 first, and Lawrence. I'll take the Pitts side. This is insane. It's Pitts, Hall, and a 23 first.
And Lawrence.
For Dak, which kind of cancels out mostly. I'd rather have Dak, but not by much. But yeah, it's the Pitts side easily.
That's a pretty good sell high.
You get the tight end 1, the 101, and a 23 first. No player is worth that.
Yeah. And then you can flip Kyle Pitts for
no, don't do that. Don't do that. Just keep Kyle Pitts.
Well, if people in your leagues are making this kind of trade for JT, imagine what they're getting.
You can't get that kind of return for Kyle Pitts. And you know that.
If Spiller goes in the second round, is he safe to take at 103 in a single quarterback?
Well, he's going to have to finish his 40-yard dash first. And then we'll see if we can take him at 103.
It depends on what team he goes to in the second round.
No chance I'm going to take him at 103. No. I don't want someone that's slow.
The problem that he has outside of his athleticism is also there's probably going to be 5 or 6 wide receivers taken in the first round.
I know. Am I really going to take a second round running back that I don't really believe in over a first-round wide receiver? Probably not.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I have a whole article on Isaiah Spiller on the DLF website.
That you
I
should
watched
probably read.
film.
What?
Yes.
I have time for that.
Yeah, okay, I was kind of surprised also because like I was reading some of the comments in the DLF Slack and I was like, I didn't know like there was an option. It was just not occur to me that like an option for the film section was just to like use someone else's film takes.
Just
I
look
was
up like Draft Network.
maybe I
and
should have
Ray
done
and-
that. Of course, what do I know? I mean, I'm not a film grinder, but I was like, I'll watch the games. I mean, I'll tell you what I see. They've published them. I don't know.
Yeah,
Read it.
we have film on DLF, so
Oh, sure. That's where I found the videos. I'm just saying,
Yep.
like, my film takes are just me watching a video. I mean,
yeah.
But like, they published the articles, so I don't know. It didn't seem like it was that bad. But if you want to read it, go read it. I mean, I tried my best. It was fun. Look, it was fun to do it. Like, it was fun to do it. It's not something I usually do. It's not something I would do normally, but it was part of the article, so I just did it. And you can read it. It was entertaining. I think it'll entertain you to read it either way. Put it that way.
There we go. Frank Addison, 12-team, 1 quarterback. He gave Waller and Kamara for Fant, Ayuk, and a 23 first and Renfro before the Adams trade.
Yeah, Renfro lost a lot of value.
So did Waller, though.
Yeah, Waller lost. Close.
Waller's losing value naturally.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's see. The 23 first is good. Ayuk is I like. Pre-Adams trade, yeah. I mean,
I think I'll take the first. First and
I'll
Kamara.
take the younger players on the right.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a 23 first than Ayuk over Kamara. Fant and Renfro versus Waller. It's close.
23 first.
Yeah, I'll just take the 23 first as well.
Henry needs to cut 2 out of the 4 in a FFPC tight end premium league. Beckham, Woods, Fuller, or Njoku.
Wow,
Fuller?
these are tight cuts. I will cut Odell and Njoku.
Not Fuller.
Odell's not even going to play this year. No.
That's
I'll cut Odell and Njoku. I think that Fuller is going to sign, and when Fuller signs, he's going to be worth more than any of these guys. He's going to be worth the most.
Probably definitely one of them.
Yeah, Njoku is definitely one of them, but I would cut Odell.
For those of you that don't know, FFPC I think cuts down to like 16 or 17 before the rookie draft or something like that. So
and that's
pretty
not
tight.
Dynasty to me. That's keeper.
Yeah, it gets pretty tight. David, as of now, where do you guys see tier breaks in the rookie draft? Right now, he sees it after the 102 and after the 106. I think you said 101, small tier break, 102, big tier break.
Well, that's one QB. In one QB, it's a huge tier break between 101 and everyone else. And Superflex, I would say that it's the 102 is the tier break, like David is saying. And then after that, yeah, I would. It's close. I debate whether Walker's going to be in his own tier or in the tier with the 3 wide receivers. But this is not a bad way to look at it.
My Superflex is after the 105. I don't think Wilson's in the tier with the other wide receivers. That's just me.
Well, I definitely have it that way. I have Wilson in the middle of the wide receivers.
Nah, I got London, Burks, tier, Wilson.
That's no, I have Burks, Wilson, London.
Gotta get on board, man. If you're in a Superflex rebuild, what position do you start with? I'm
Quarterback.
Assuming, then what?
Wide receiver. And tight end and running back last.
There we go. Easy. What should you give up in the trade for AJ Dillon?
For AJ Dillon in a Superflex format, I'm not going to give a first for AJ Dillon. He's actually in the same range, but I'm more likely to actually pay the 201 for AJ Dillon, a player I want more.
Right.
But he's in the same exact value range as Cooper and Fournette were from earlier in the show.
Right. He seems like a great guy to trade like your mid first down to get Dillon and a something or late first down.
I feel like it's more like I'd be trading a mid second up
with Dillon.
No, to get Dillon.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
if you have like the 108. And you can
Yeah,
move like
like
the 108
if I
for
could
Dylan
get
and
rid
the
of okay, here.
206.
If I could trade like I'll hurt. Oh, I noticed Peter's in the chat. If I
Really?
could, yeah, no, I'll make sure to while he's here, I'll make sure I hurt his feelings. If I could package Juju and the 207 to get AJ Dillon, that could be something I would do. That would be something I would do. You know, to get
I would
rid
do
of
that as well.
failure and move to AJ Dillon with a 207.
I would
I
do
love
that as well.
Peter.
And
I
I'll
love Peter, but he was asking Juju or the 107, and I had to be realistic and say that Juju's closer in value to the 207.
I'll release my Juju Smith-Schuster truther card to you later tonight, Peter, when I agree with Cal.
Cal is not even here.
Carp. I said I wanted to say
I want to know what Cal thinks about Juju.
Oh, that would be an interesting question for him. Okay. Gavin asked Mike Williams Gordon in the 24 second or the 201, 301, and 23 first. It's the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First.
Yep. Fantasy Condo shifting team to a win now. You just traded the 104 for Tyreek Hill and a 10-team Superflex half PPR.
I'll take Hill.
Yep. I'm on board.
Also, like for the record, I do actually really like Peter. I've been listening to Dynasty Crossroads. Actually, I think the DLF Dynasty podcast was the first Dynasty podcast I listened to. I think Dynasty Crossroads was the second, and Trade Addicts was the third. Those are the ones I've been listening to like since before I was a content creator.
10 out of 10 would listen to all.
Yeah, no, I remember. People don't remember these days, but I remember when Peter used to do that show with Jake.
Yeah.
I don't even know
that's
how long.
That's how
it's been
Crossroads started.
Years. But it used to be like a tape versus analytics show, and it hasn't been for like 3 years. But I still remember like the old days, and I remember that's why I had so many JJ Arcega Whiteside shares. Because of Peter.
Oh, Peter. That's right.
But that's I remember that. I was like, you know, I still remember. It's crazy as to what you remember 3 years later.
Noah asks if there's any sleeper buy low tight ends you guys have been trading for.
Does Alberto count?
Alberto. Cole Kmet. I don't know how buy low he is.
Maybe Brevin Jordan. Oh, if you want a really deep pull, Ray GQ always talks about him, but I kind of agree. I've actually been talking about him for a while too. Josiah DeGara on the Green Bay.
I thought you were going to say Noah Gray.
I do. I listen to that's another podcast I listen to actually. Wake Up, the Ray G Daily podcast. I would recommend that one. I would listen to that one if you
watch it live.
No, I don't watch it live. I listen to it. I listen to all this stuff. I listen to the only YouTube I watch is actually my own shows. I watch you, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
But other than that, I do everything on podcasts. So all the stuff I listen to is all podcasts. DLF show, that the Ray G show. Dynasty Theory is another one I really like. There's a lot of podcasts. I would suggest Locked On Dynasty is another one. I listen to a lot of these. I listen to all of them on 2X, so I can catch up on all of them. I always end up so far behind. I have to, otherwise I never have time.
I would add Zach Ertz if you get him cheap.
I don't know if Zach Ertz is a sleeper. People know.
No, I just like buy low kind of guys that just.
Speaking of buy low,
Irv?
I kind of like Noah Gray as like a stash.
That's who I was. When you said you want to know about this guy, I thought you were gonna pull Noah Gray out.
No, Josiah DeGara actually impressed me a little bit more than Noah Gray. I actually have more that I saw about him, but on the field. But Noah Gray was someone I kind of liked in the pre-draft process. Yeah. And I saw Peter mention Kylan Granson. He's someone I also liked in the pre-draft process a lot, but I just didn't like his rookie season. They extended Mo Alley Cox, so I think that one is a no for me. Retired. Yeah, Kylan Granson I think is a no for me, but he was someone I really liked in the pre-draft process, and I was like very much hyping him up, but I was kind of sad that he didn't seem to work out.
Lefty
Jacob Harris was like my white whale, though. I obsessed over Jacob Harris, and that was such a miss.
Oh well.
Happens.
What's up, Lefty? Hope you're doing well. 12-team Superflex, 2 tight end premium. Holy crap. Akers, Ayuk, and the 106 or Cup and a 23 first. Cup. I'll take Cup.
I mean, 106. I'd probably rather have 106 and 23 first are close. I'd probably
Yep.
slightly lean toward the 106 because it's top half. And then Cup versus Akers and Ayuk is also close. So knowing me, I'll take the Akers side just because of the way I play. I'm not going to take the one old guy, but it's about right value wise. Very close. If I have Cup, I feel like I should get more. I don't feel like I should be including a 23 first for this. But if I have these other players, I'm not sure I'm sending it all for one old wide receiver. And 106 and 23 first, that doesn't do much for me.
Here's the easiest answer we'll probably have all night.
No. I'll take Chase.
That's what I mean. It's the easiest
easy
one.
question. Sometimes they're easy. Sometimes they're easy.
Anytime we could talk about Clyde Edwards-Helaire is always a good time. He's going in the 10th round of a 12-team Superflex. At what point does this become a value, even though he's been a failure?
Yeah, I have him ranked in the 10th round, so it's possible that he could be a value there. But I still think that they're going to sign someone to play the passing down role because they don't trust failure with that role. And you obviously can't trust big failure with that role because he has hands of stone. So when you have failure and
Darrell Williams back,
well, clearly they're not going to do that. They wouldn't have signed Rojo if they were going to.
That's what confused me.
But I think they're going to re-sign Jerick McKinnon to take the James White role, and then you're going to have a three-way committee.
Yeah, then that's not going to be fun.
Remember who started the playoff game? Who started that last playoff game? Was it Clyde Edwards-Helaire or was it Jerick McKinnon? Who started the game? Despite the fact that Clyde Edwards-Helaire was healthy for that one. He was healthy, but he didn't start that game. So that tells you all I need to know.
Yeah. McKinnon was the playoff guy, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you know what? I have the fear. You know what I really have the fear? It's not going to happen in the first round. I have the fear that at 62 overall, Isaiah Spiller could look like a great addition to the team.
No.
Yes. People are saying, oh, they signed Rojo, they're not going to draft someone. Why not? Why not still draft someone? Or let's say they don't do that. What about at 94 overall? How about someone a little smaller? A different type of player. What about Rashad White at that point?
I see that one more than Isaiah Spiller. I think if they want to draft Isaiah Spiller.
What if people are not afraid enough of a big investment being made there?
Yeah. Dang. That made me even more sad. How do I favorite a comment?
You can't.
Goku's pre-workout made it to his first live. Let's go.
Goku probably uses a lot of pre-workout. You a Dragon Ball Z fan?
No. I never watched it. I just never.
To be fair, we are a little young. Yeah. From the original heyday of Dragon Ball Z. We're a little young. But
I feel like if I got into it, I would probably be a Dragon Ball Z fan.
I'm sure you would. You seem like you would be. You and your Funko Pops.
Yes, for sure. I don't have any of Dragon Ball Z, but yeah. Nathan, single quarterback, 1.5 PPR, tight end premium PPR. I traded James Robinson a 23 second, 24 third for Bateman, a 24 first, and a 24 third.
What? It's a Bateman side easily. I'm confused because Bateman's worth a lot more than Robinson, and first is better than any second. So how do you do this trade? This is a smash for the Bateman side. Congratulations. I don't understand this trade. But you did a great job. So it's always good when I don't understand it in your favor. Right?
Randy says he's rebuilding, and Jonathan Taylor's his only running back, and he has the 103. Would you consider moving Jonathan Taylor for the 101, 201, and a 23 first? The team offering is no other picks and only Trey Lance at quarterback.
Yes.
I'm definitely selling JT in a rebuild.
I'll sell JT for that return. The 101 and a 23 first and an early second is enough. If you're in a rebuild, then that's what you're going to do. You got to do it. We talk about a premium return. At premium, I think 101 and another first is how much more can you get? How much more are you ever going to get for any player? You're not going to do better. So that's the best you can do.
10-team Superflex tight end premium traded McCaffrey in a 23 third for Clyde Edwards-Helaire in 23 first. You lost me.
Yeah, you lost. You lost by a lot. You also infested your team with failure. So now we're going to have to work on fixing that for next time. We're going to have to get rid of failure from your team.
Apparently, I need to go out and trade for Christian McCaffrey.
Should I make Rojo's nickname officially Big Failure?
No.
Big.
Well,
here I have a better name: Ronald Bench, Ronald Bench, or Ronald Fumble.
I feel like it has to rhyme with Jones.
Does it?
We'll workshop it.
I mean, he was Carson. Carson Failure was the original failure.
Carson Bench is a better one. See,
I really do think that Drew Disaster is one of my best ones because it's a timid Teddy.
Yeah, I feel like the alliteration's definitely
The alliteration is pretty good.
Also asked, in a 10-team Superflex tight end premium, has got Dak, Lance, Watson, and Russell Wilson. Nice. I want to love Wilson out of the 4. What kind of move Wilson?
Move Wilson. The L and the M are near each other on the keyboard.
What kind of return should I expect, or should he hold?
I will. I don't know. I mean, you should expect a big return, right? I mean, you should expect an early first at least. And plus,
I was gonna say at least a couple,
yeah,
maybe 2 seconds or 2 firsts. I mean,
I don't know. I might want to move Dak instead. Maybe you can get more for Dak,
or maybe Lance,
or maybe Watson. This was not a helpful answer. Instead, why don't we? If you want something better than that, why don't you give us an idea of like what you think you can get for these quarterbacks, and I'll tell you yes or no.
I would definitely workshop to see which one you can get the most out of, because these all feel like they're in the same tier. So whichever one nets you the most.
In a 10-team Superflex, you don't need this kind of quarterback firepower.
Right, because you're sitting 2 of them every week.
Yeah, in a 10-team Superflex, you just don't need this. So you need to get strengths elsewhere.
Right. Scott asks, Mike Williams should get me the 1-0.
Yeah, the fact that there's a 1 there is a problem.
And then, if that's not a problem, the fact that it's an O.
Yeah, that's even worse. If I'm selling, even in the kindest situation, which is saying it's a 1 QB, I'm not expecting a 1-0 anything.
If you get a 1-0, that's a break your finger kind of trade, except on your phone.
I mean, people are coming up with Ronald Jones nicknames. I mean, I used to call him Ronald Unemployed, but I can't call him that anymore.
The Ronald Jones slander, I cannot take it.
He's so bad. He is so bad. There's a reason why everyone always sent him to the bench. Wasn't just Bruce Arians. Dirk Cutter sent him to the bench too. Why is he always going to the bench? And why every time other players manage to fumble and then carry on and continue to carry the ball, but every time he fumbles, he needs the rest of the game off? Why is that the case with him and not anyone else? It can't just be the coaching staff.
I won't allow it.
Well, it's too late. I was already said it.
Edward says that he has Fields and Tua as his starters in 10-team Superflex. Would you feel comfortable rolling with those 2 or attempt to tier up? If so, who is he targeting?
Not really. Not really. No, I wouldn't say I'm comfortable. I would like someone a little better than that. And if I'm tiering up, how about Stafford? Can I go up to Stafford somehow? Sell the youth of these guys to go up to someone more reliable who's a little bit older?
Or Carr?
Carr is not really up.
Carr is Tua. I'm a Tua guy. I think Carr is up.
I mean, Carr is up for now, but value-wise, Carr is not really up. Carr's not actually worth that much.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's something you could do. You could trade Tua. You could probably get Carr plus. You could get Carr plus for Tua.
Yeah. Or Cousins plus.
Cousins, I'm not as interested in. Cousins is 3 years older and doesn't have Devontae Adams.
What about, I keep going to the same names. Yeah. Carr. Stafford.
Stafford is the one I would look at the most.
Stafford. Michael Carter of Not the Jets. 12-team Superflex trade the 107, the 201, and a 23 second for Christian McCaffrey. Let's go.
That's I think you got a deal.
How much more would you have paid? I would have paid.
I I would have paid more, but I not that much. I wouldn't have like overpaid.
Yeah. If both those seconds were a 23 first, I probably still would have done it. Maybe.
Not that much. I mean, I'm not gonna pay the 107 and 223 first for McCaffrey.
No. If you just the 201 and the 23 second, if they were both just 123 first.
Oh yeah, no, that's getting closer to the actual right value.
Right. Of
Yeah.
which I would. That's yeah.
Yeah.
You got a deal. Awesome job. When's the best time to trade away quarterback free agent signings in Superflex? His current quarterbacks in a 12-team Superflex is Stafford, Tannehill, Carr, Trubisky, and Mariota. Would you try to tier up or good enough as is?
The best time was after they signed, before people actually thought about it.
The second best time is right now.
Yeah.
And the third best time is also tomorrow.
Yeah, no, you want to let people, when people think about it quickly, they make a mistake. That's when people make mistakes. People make the most mistakes in startup drafts and in rookie drafts. This is why when I'm doing my Patreon or anything like that, I'm helping people with startup draft. I'm dominant because other people aren't ready. They're not prepared. They don't have spreadsheets. They don't have everything in front of them. When they have forever to think about it, then all of a sudden they can get to the right conclusion. I don't have a secret. There's no secret. I don't have any secret information that I have over other people. So the longer they have to think about it, the more likely they are to make the right decision. So yeah, the quicker you do it, the faster.
Yep. And take any second for either Trubisky or Mariota.
Yeah, for Mariota for sure. Trubisky, I'd like a little bit more because I think it's more likely that Trubisky is actually the starter than Mariota. Mariota also sucks. Mariota is so bad. I mean, it's like it's great. It's great that he's working with the same coach. It's so great. The same one that put him on the bench, right? That one. The one who was like, yeah, this offensive coordinator, we're going to put this quarterback on the bench. He sucks. We don't want him. So that's his head coach, and that's supposed to be a good thing.
Nope. Buddy Pat asks Bateman and Frymuth or Jacobs and Everett in the 303 one quarterback PPR.
I have a nickname for Marcus Mariota, by the way.
Rush. Oh.
Marcus Meh.
Meh Riota.
Meh Riota. That's a good one.
What we got for Patrick here? It's a 0.2 point per carry as well with a half.
Ooh, okay, that makes running backs worth a lot more. Jacob's side.
And I think I take Jacobs.
With that 0.2 point per carry, I'll take Jacob's side.
Yep. I'll take Jacobs. 10-team Superflex tight end premium Russell Wilson plus gets me the 101. That's the other way around.
Plus not much.
Oh man, I don't know if it's a 10-team.
About right.
You're there.
It's about right.
You're super there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right there. You're right there.
Yeah.
That's almost spot on in value. Plus nothing, I would say. Plus nothing.
Plus a fourth to get it done. What is CeeDee Lamb's value? How many draft picks would it take for you to trade him?
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is still worth more than the 101 for me.
Yeah, he's a multi-first.
A lot.
Multi-first. He has Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift. Oh, I could have had that in my other league, but I traded JT. So I'm looking to trade Elijah Mitchell. Oh, I also have Elijah Mitchell. This is like my same league. What do you think is a fair value in this draft for 12-team one quarterback for Elijah Mitchell?
I want a top 3 pick. And I'm not going to get it, so I'm just going to keep Elijah Mitchell.
I'll go down to like 105, 106.
I think you'll regret it.
I hope I regret it. I love Elijah Mitchell, so I hope I regret it.
I'm all in. I think that he's going to be an RB1 next year.
Oh, Carp, you're speaking right to my heart. Oh,
yeah,
boy.
I'd much prefer him over Saquon failure.
Oh boy, now you tore my heart.
Elijah Mitchell's actually still talented.
Stop. You said good words, and then you just.
Oh, I know, but I have to root it. That's what I do.
Take any second for Christian Kirk?
No, not any second.
What's the line?
He just signed an $84 million contract.
2-0.
So Superflex, the regular Superflex tight end premium, yeah. So I have him priced between 203 and 204.
203 was my answer.
Yeah. Oh, so we're spot on.
Nice. I have no idea what I'm doing watching film, but I watched Spiller early before everybody started to sour on him and didn't get the hype. Oh, there it is. You are a pro. Juju Rose.
His
Nice.
film was very good, by the way.
Spiller's film?
Yes, it was actually very good. I talked about how if film was all that mattered, he'd be the RB1 in this class or close to it. Unfortunately, he was so bad at everything else that it doesn't matter.
Did you watch Kenneth Walker at all?
Did I do Kenneth Walker? I think I did a 2020 on Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker's film's pretty good too.
I looked at Kenneth Walker a while ago, but I've actually done a lot of running backs. So my last 3 articles, not on as high profile, but I did an article on Kyron Williams. He sucks. Brian Robinson, boring Brian, and Tyler Algier, actually interesting. But unfortunately, I don't think draft capital is coming for him because he didn't test very well.
The next one that you need to look at is Jerome Ford.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to get to that because I've already done all of my rookie articles. I have one more, but it's on Jalen Tolbert, so it's a wide receiver.
All right, let's see how fast we can rapid fire these. 106 and a 23 second or 23 first and 203.
23 first and 203.
Yep. 10C and Superflex starting lineups needed depth. Mahomes for Stafford, the 102 and the 104. And holy crap.
Way too much. I'll take the Stafford side.
He said he needed depth, so
well, then you got depth. So I'll take the Stafford side easily, yeah.
How many 23 firsts would you need to be included to move down from Lamar to Carr?
Well, 3 is obviously more than enough, and 1 isn't enough. So the real question is, would you do it with 2? And
I would trade Lamar for 2 firsts and Carr.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with that.
I would do that.
It's a lot. I mean, Carr on his own is worth the 23 first or more. So, yeah, I mean, I have Lamar, though. I really want more than that.
Yeah.
I don't think I quite need 3. I don't need 3 first, but I probably would I'd need 2 firsts, Carr, and then probably something else small to make me do it.
Yeah, throwing in a nice
Christian Kirk.
Filler. Oh. 12-team Superflex PPR rebuilding. I have Tannehill, Jones, and Goff.
Okay, so you have a disaster.
Do I trade any of the quarterbacks away and get more picks or players? Yes.
I mean, I would trade Tannehill away in a rebuild. You don't have any use for him. And then Jones. I mean, Mac Jones. If that's Mac Jones, then I would, or Daniel Jones. I mean, I'd trade him either way. Yeah, all of these quarterbacks can go.
Yep. They all can go. Donald Parham as that late round tight end?
Nah.
You in?
Nah, not after they signed Everett.
Yeah.
I also think that the Chargers, I mean, they don't really have a pick to take a tight end, but I was hoping they could take one in the draft. But unfortunately, their only pick is they have the 1st and the 3rd. So,
yeah. Everett's enough to keep Parham at bay.
Yeah.
Have the 104 and a 12-team Superflex rebuild. Lamb, he has Lamb, but he needs more young wide receivers to pair with him. Is the better value taking one of the big 3 or trading it for an Elijah Moore?
Aim higher. The better value is to try to trade it for DK Metcalf.
Holy moly.
Trading it for Elijah Moore is not good enough. But how about DK Metcalf? How about that?
The 1.0, oh man. Yeah, you should be in the, man, it's kind of undervalued.
Trade it for DK Metcalf and thank me later.
There you go. I mean, I'm definitely in on that. I don't know.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I think I would like DK Metcalf over the wide receivers in this class if I had to choose.
Oh, I forgot about this one. Who dat dude said Taysom Hill is the new late round tight end.
I don't think so. I think Adam Troutman is their starter.
What do you do with OBJ?
Trade him away because he's going to be 30 by the next time he takes a snap.
Any second?
Oh yeah, easy. Okay. I have no interest. I don't bother with players like this. If they succeed, great. They succeeded and they still have no dynasty value. So I just don't bother with old injured players. They can be someone else's problem, but they're not going to be my problem.
103 Gallup and Rondale Moore or T. Higgins in a 23 first.
Higgins in the first easily. Higgins is worth more than the 103, and I'd rather the first over Gallup.
I got distracted by the 103 at the beginning, but yeah. When Allen Mahomes cut to start my startup, now I got to choose between Deontay, Higgins, Mixon, or Eckler.
Ooh.
Holy crap.
Well, you started with 2 good quarterbacks. How'd you get Allen and Mahomes?
And then
You're a
Cup.
patron. You're a patron, I'm pretty sure. Tell me how in the Patreon Discord how you pulled this off. But my Patreon Discord is great, by the way, just so you know. But I have Higgins ranked the highest of this group.
I was gonna say I think I'd take Higgins.
Yeah, I have Higgins ranked the highest.
Still too early for a running back, but you might be competing. I don't. Higgins.
Higgins anyway. We don't worry about that.
Well, Pitts drop Harvard Mariota, and assuming Atlanta drafts Garrett Wilson / a. I don't think Atlanta is a lock for drafting a wide receiver of that.
Why
caliber.
not? Why not draft a wide receiver at 8 overall? They could do that.
I think they just have so much, you know.
I think they
got 2 mid-seconds or 2 an early and a late.
Kenny Pickett, maybe.
I still do think that Pitts gets hurt.
Yes,
a little bit with
he
Mariota.
dropped hard with Mariota for this year, but in Dynasty, I'm not worried.
Yep.
But in redraft, he's fallen for me.
Ronald Hands of
probably going to be my tight end 3 with Ryan, but with Mariota, he's probably going to in redraft. But in now, he's probably going to be tight end
7
5.
or 8.
5.
Can I name 7 or 8?
Andrews,
right.
Andrews, Kelsey, Kittle, Waller, Pitts in redraft. Assuming he actually has Mariota.
That's where he'll be ranked. Yeah, for sure. Ronald Hands of Stone. That kind of goes with the
That's
Jones.
good. Yeah, he does have Hands of Stone.
I like it. 12-team 1 quarterback half PPR. Chubb and Evans or Amon-Ra 103 in the 203.
I'm on Ra's side.
Yes. Yes.
I'll take the youth.
Ronald Moans.
Come on.
They're Ronald get pwned.
Okay, that one's good.
This is interesting. How do you view these backup running backs? Droppable?
Okay. DJ Dallas, completely droppable. He's always been worthless. He's always had a truth or hive that were delusional. Tony Jones, he's probably droppable too.
I'm keeping Keyshawn Vaughn.
And Keyshawn Vaughn is not droppable, I would say. Keyshawn Vaughn is someone I'm keeping.
Yeah. Yes.
I have a tiny amount of interest in Tony Jones only because if Alvin Kamara gets suspended, he might get one more chance to show something. But DJ Dallas is completely droppable.
Yeah, I agree. I think if I saw Tony Jones on the waiver, I'd probably pick him up.
Yeah, but I'd probably rather. I don't know. There are other players on waivers, but he's someone I would probably pick up in a deep dynasty league. DJ Dallas, I wouldn't pick up in any circumstance.
Absolutely agree. Move the 103, 207 in Juju for the 101 Ramondre and the 301.
I'll just take the 101. Juju is big failure. And I don't want that. So, like, Juju is equal to about Ramondre and the 301 to me. So that means it's the 103, the 101 versus the 103 and the 207, and I'll take the 101.
I'm taking my Juju truther card back. I'm taking the 103 in Juju.
I think you're going to regret that. Oh, look, DK Metcalf was just traded to the Chiefs. Not really. But wouldn't it be funny if he was?
That would be funny. The 104, 201, 23 first and second and Dylan for Lance.
Man,
holy moly.
That's a payment. I'm not paying that much.
No, I'm taking
not paying that much. I'll take the not Lance side. Lance is great, but this is the kind of thing you pay for a proven stud quarterback, not a maybe stud quarterback.
Holy crap. Shout out to Peter, just traded Tua and Galladay for Jalen Hurts.
Well, Kenny Galladay is Kenny always injured, Kenny incompetent, Kenny waste of money.
Gone away.
I think Kenny waste of money is good. But I'll take Jalen Hurts.
I have the 102, 104 in a rookie draft, 12-team Superflex. Assuming Hall goes first, who should he try to target? Walker or Willis and the best wide receiver who gets
Willis, and then Walker will probably go 3, and then the best wide receiver of the group after that. unless it's a quarterback, which it still could be. And quarterback goes in the top 10, I'll consider him.
The nicknames are pouring out here, dude.
Carcass Mariota.
Wow. Wow. Marcus Mariota. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were right there with the 101.
Your team is stacked. They have all these quarterbacks and they have all of these players too. Read the team again. Look at this team. This is ridiculous. How does one team have all of these players?
By being in a really good dynasty manager.
Yeah, it must be.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Yeah, keep doing it. Yeah, you can trade Russell Wilson, but you don't really have any needs. So I don't know. You tell me what you want to
trade. Russell Wilson. You always need a running back, so just get another running back.
Yeah, you always need more running backs. I don't know, but you need someone so good to trade Russell Wilson away.
Yeah, that's what I think. This is the one from Russell Wilson plus for the 101. So you're like right there. So
maybe you can trade Russell Wilson for AJ Brown.
Probably.
How about that? Is that good? Does that make everybody happy?
Oh,
we just crossed 100 viewers somehow.
Oh, cheers.
I know.
Second week in a row. Is there any gas on these Lockett rumors?
More likely Metcalf gets moved, I would say, because he's the one about due an extension.
The rebuild.
They've already paid a lot of the money to Lockett in a signing bonus that they wouldn't get back.
AJ Dillon or Darnell Mooney?
Actually, I have them very close, and I'll go with Darnell Mooney for now. I actually like that they're not. He's going to get a good chance, it looks like.
Yeah.
Chicago does not have a first-round pick. So Darnell Mooney is not going to be supplanted at this point. You're talking about someone coming in as a compliment. Yeah. You're talking about a 2. One is not coming.
David Bell
to Chicago. Yeah, that could work.
Peter's in here just killing all these questions. He's doing a fantastic job. Is the Packers' next wide receiver 1 currently on the roster?
No. No, their next wide receiver 1 is
that pick 22 or 28?
To be really honest, I think that their next wide receiver 1 is actually probably Treylon Burks, because I think he's the one who's going to fall far enough.
Would you trade a 23 first for a first and a startup?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Obviously.
Yes. Montgomery, Curtis Samuel, or Hopkins, Lockett?
That's close. I'll take Montgomery.
Oh my gosh. These are like 4 players I don't really think about.
Yeah, Lockett's really fallen. But if Metcalf gets traded away, then Lockett might have some more hope.
Not with Drew Lock.
Well, he's not going to have Drew Lock.
I'll take Montgomery.
He's going to have Baker Mayfield, and everybody knows it.
That still doesn't help.
It's better than Drew Disaster. Do we need the Drew Disaster throwing motion?
Drew, stop.
No.
Godwin. Right?
Godwin's side. Yeah. CEH just poisons the whole other side.
Where does Jordan Love fit in the failure circle with CEH and Rojo?
Okay. Not as bad as Rojo, but worse than CEH.
Interesting. Najee for Dobbins and Mike Evans?
Najee.
204 for Darnell Mooney.
Crushed it.
Can only keep 5 players, and I've got Saquon, CMC, ETN, Chase, AJ Brown, and T. Higgins.
Goodbye, ETN, I guess. Just because he's never done anything in the NFL. He could suck.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. 12
He's
teams
also on the Jaguars.
Would you trade 23 first and Mike Williams for Kelsey? He also has pick.
I'd rather not, but
I would rather keep the 23 first.
I'd rather not, but if I were desperate, I could see myself talking myself into this, but it's so unlikely that I actually do it. It's just not my style.
Yeah. 10-team Superflex half PPR. My rebuild are competing this year. Herbert to a Carr, Javonte Etienne, Fournette, Carter, Tyreek, Judy, Bateman. He's got the 105, 108.
Wide receiver is kind of weak.
Yes.
Because you don't even have, I don't think Tyreek is top 5 anymore. And you
No.
don't have a wide receiver 2 beyond him. And this is a 10 team.
Peter says he's competing.
This is weak. This team is too weak. I would say no. In a 10 team, this is not a competing team. Not
I think you're playoff like 5-6 seed.
Well, you do have those 2 picks that'll help.
Right. The 105 is going to be a wide receiver.
108 will help a little. But in a 10 team, this team is a little on the weaker side. It's not as strong as I'd like to be. It's very weak at wide receiver. What do you have at tight end? How about that?
Yeah, because if he has like Mark Andrews at tight end.
If you have Mark Andrews, I feel a lot better about this team.
Or even
if
Kelsey
tight end
this year.
Yeah, sure. But if your tight end is crap, then this is probably not a competing. So that could break the tie for me. But in a 10-team dynasty, the winning teams are usually very stacked. Mm-hmm. So this is not a typical winner in a 10-team. The winning team in a 10-team dynasty is usually stronger than this.
Saquon or an early 23.
Early 23 first.
Oh, Pitts is his tight end.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better about it. But, if Pitts is your tight end, then I don't know how good he's going to be this year. So it's a little bit better, but, I'm still...
What I like is with Pitts as his tight end, he's got the youth to continue on,
Yeah, I'm not sure I would push all my chips in with this team, though. I might try to, since I have Pitts, I have Herbert, I have Javonte, I have, Judy is younger, Bateman. I might just try to get rid of Tyreek and try to move Tyreek for someone younger and then just kind of see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then decide on a direction in season. But Tyreek, I might want to get rid of specifically because he's expensive and older. Fournette, I can hold on to because he's cheaper.
Yeah. No, I like that advice for sure.
And no problem with Tua and Carr. Hang on to them.
Last question. 104, Watson and Will Fuller or Lamar in a 24-second and a 1 quarterback.
1 QB. So then it's the Lamar side easily. Second over Fuller, Lamar over Watson. Or, no, this is a whole 104?
It's the 104 side.
Oh, this is then a silly question. Then it's the 104 side easily.
104.
Who gives up top 4 picks for quarterback? Don't do that in a 1 QB league. This is such a weird trade. It didn't occur to me that anyone would give up the 104. So yeah, to take the 104. To give, because I always talk about this. I don't have any quarterbacks in 1 QB that are currently worth a top 5 pick. None. Then I have Josh Allen, and then no other quarterback. Yeah, is there for a while. I really devalue quarterback in 1 QB a lot.
I think I 100% agree with you. Jesse said one more at the end. Kelsey.
What about him? I like him, but he's old.
Dude, Scott's savage.
That maybe.
All right. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Unless Jesse hops in here in the next 15 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he wanted me to say about Kelsey. But yeah, we'll do our usual. If you're here, Twitter handles are right there. So follow us on Twitter. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Really helps the algorithm of this video. Subscribing to the DLF YouTube channel makes Addison happy. And he's here, so he can confirm.
Can confirm.
Confirm that. And yeah, if you have any questions that we talked about, but we didn't get to it fully, there is an article that comes out about this. And also leave a comment in the video, especially this time if you had any DK Metcalf trades. DK Metcalf trades completed or suggested, put them in the comments of this video, and we'll make our comments on those.
Yes. So with that all being said, we'll catch y'all next week.
Peace.